Yeah, 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 yeah. I was sleeping, had to wake up. Why? Every reason I can think of. God, till the day I keep the ink up.
What's up, YouTube? Today, we'll be looking at disturbing TikToks that'll make you question reality. So without further ado, welcome to Adam Strain Reacts. Let's get her done.
The delay in the radio communications between Houston and the astronauts. The Earth and the Moon are about 240,000 miles apart. For this reason, a radio signal takes about 1.3 seconds to reach our satellite and another 1.3 seconds to come back to Earth. This means that when Houston asked a question to the astronauts on the Moon, the reply should have taken at least 2.6 seconds to come back to Earth. 1.3 seconds for the question to reach the astronaut, 1.3 seconds for his answer to come back. There are some cases, however, where the answer from the astronaut comes back much faster. Here is one example.
Roger, Jim, copy. And are you progressing towards Dune Crater now?
Yep.
The answer is almost immediate. It takes a little over a second for it to come back.
Roger, Jim, copy. And are you progressing towards Dune Crater now?
Yep.
This is the soundtrack from the original audio. This segment contains the question coming from Houston, and this is the answer by the astronaut. The gap between the end of the question and the answer is only 1.1 seconds.
Roger, Jim, copy. And are you progressing towards Dune Crater now?
Yep.
Too short for this communication to have really come from the Moon. To examine the audio delays, we have obviously used the original, unmodified tapes from NASA distributed around the world by Spacecraft Films. If there is one thing everybody agrees on, it's that the DVDs by Spacecraft Films are the only originals that can be used as reference for any kind of research. Paolo Attivissimo confirms this in one.
Very interesting. What do you guys think about that? I know that the moon is a subject with a lot of contention. Some people swear by it, some people don't. So what do you guys think about that? Me personally, I find that there's a lot of inconsistencies regarding the time for the conversation. I guess we could easily say that maybe they were pre-recorded, but then it defeats the purpose of it being live, so it's hard to say. But another thing that's very interesting is that, from what I understand, what was broadcasted on TV was from a projection on the wall. And if I'm not mistaken, the original feed, they said, was being received in Australia. So it's a very complicated chain of command when you're trying to find for the original signal. So theoretically, it went straight from the moon to Australia, then from Australia to the United States, then the United States to a wall, and then they filmed off a wall. That's what I picked up after a few years of looking into it. The only thing I can say is that NASA lost all of the telemetry data, lost pretty much everything, even the capability itself of returning to the moon. So it's pretty rough. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that that delay sort of tells us what we need to know? That maybe it's less real than it seems? Or maybe we're just exaggerating and seeing something where there really isn't anything? So let me know down below, and let's keep on rocking.
This guy has starred in more productions than Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds combined. This is Mr. Fafo, and he's the most infamous actor in all of Pallywood. Yes, you heard that right. Pallywood. Palestine meets Hollywood. It's what we call the phenomenon of Palestinians staging fake situations in order to trick the international community and as a result, gain international sympathy. The term Pallywood has been around since 2005.
Although he should look like someone with a head injury, he sits firmly.
Since October 7th, Pallywood has exploded on social media, using fake crisis actors to fake injuries or death.
They're using crisis actors in order to victimize themselves.
This is where Mr. Fafo comes in. You may know him as the journalist, the doctor, maybe the sickly patient, or my personal favorite, the terrorist. Whenever there's a photo op in Gaza, you better believe that Fafo is there. Photos and videos like this, and this show just how deep Hamas's manipulation goes. But it's no surprise that the world is ignoring Gazan's suffering. I mean, they're too busy watching Pallywood's new drama TV show. While Pallywood's productions are about as real as Mr. Fafo's medical degree.
That's a very old story. I don't know if you guys ever heard about crisis actors, but there's a lot of conspiracy around that. The fact that you see the same people attributed with different roles in different crises to give a certain script or narrative sometimes. And it goes all the way to 9/11. If you look at one of the first live interviews on the street after the incident on 9/11, one of the first guys they met, now it's admitted, but was a ex-CNN reporter or something, and he basically gave a perfect testimony to basically seal all questions. He's like, I live super high up. I saw everything with my own eyes. I saw the first plane, the second plane. I saw the first tower fall, the second tower fall. I wasn't alone. My roommate was there. So it's like when you listen to what he's saying, it's perfect. So it gives you exact timeline. He even finished his interjection by saying, but obviously the buildings fell due to structural damage or something like that. So it was really like on point. So what do you guys think about crisis actors? Do you think sometimes the news is a bit less authentic than it seems? Or do you guys think that this is just a one-off and they're just trying to negate basically the points that they're making by saying that somebody faked some footage? Maybe he's not even associated with Hamas itself or with, who knows, right? Let's keep on rocking.
So I just saw some crazy shit on this app. So they're saying in Tennessee, at a Walmart, a lady was attacked by a man. But it just wasn't no regular attack. The man that attacked her started biting her. Mind you, when the police came, they taped off the area, but they quarantined everything and everybody that was in that area. And this shit sounds like some movie shit because they're saying that the mayor of their city held a town meeting telling everybody about the situation. Shit is so crazy that they're saying that the hospital that they took the woman to, the store that the woman got bitten, they're all quarantined. What the hell is going on in Tennessee? And to top it all, the whole town is going crazy. So crazy that the town was ordered to bring the National Guard there. Police is going crazy. Why didn't we hear about this? The guy that's reporting the video said that he went to a Walmart to grab him some water. He's in an aisle and he hears people screaming and running. So what did he do? He ran as well. And listen to this crazy shit. The first lady that got bit, they're saying that when she got to the hospital, she was there for a little while, and then she got up and started attacking people, trying to bite them. Now, I don't know how true this shit is because, like I said, once again, this just came across my timeline. But I'm going to have to jump down this rabbit hole and find out exactly what happened because if some shit like this is going on there, that means it can happen just about anywhere. I'm out.
If you're new here, I cover the darkest rabbit holes that nobody else wants to touch. And if you're not following yet, you're going to miss the biggest update on the Garth Brooks missing people theory. Yo, for years, fans online have been connecting the dots between Garth Brooks' tour schedule and unsolved mysteries. The viral Garth Brooks Bodies Map theory claims his concerts overlap with missing people reports and unsolved homicides across the U.S. Some even call it the strangest celebrity conspiracy ever posted. Here's where it gets eerie, though. Researchers reportedly tracked over 1,000 of his tour stops, and within that, they claim to have linked roughly 120 missing persons and nearly 90 unsolved homicides in those same regions. Even Tom Segura famously talked about this, saying, once you start digging, the names just keep stacking up. Take one example. When Brooks attended college in Oklahoma, a young woman was found unalive nearby. Years later, when he was working in Nashville, multiple disappearances were reported near the boot barn where he worked. According to the stories collected by Segura and his researchers, these connections kept appearing, sometimes within just miles of concert venues or where he was living at the time. If you live near places he's performed or if you've traveled to one of his tour stops, you ever heard locals whisper about this? Did your city have missing persons during his tours? Drop your stories down in the comments, especially if you're from Nashville, Oklahoma, or cities along his big state fair runs. And Follow right now if you want to see how deep the Garth Brooks rabbit hole really goes and other true crime cases, because this next piece of this theory is probably even darker. Most people scroll past stories like this, but not you. You're still here, so hit the follow button because the next update, you don't want to miss it. Y'all, drop those guitar emojis in the comment section if you made it to the end of the.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you look at ancient buildings, temples, cathedrals, even old churches, they're almost always round, curved, flowing. But now, modern buildings are just boxes, straight lines, squares everywhere. People say it's just architectural progress, but what if it's not? What if it's about energy? See, circles move energy. They flow. They resonate like ripples in water. Squares trap it. They cut it, choke it, confine it. And the old builders knew this. That's why sacred sites were never designed like prisons. They were alive, breathing with the earth. Now look at the world we live in. Cubes, grids, right angles, concrete boxes stacked on each other. They don't just shape our cities. They shape us. They drain us, keep us dull, disconnected. And the strangest part? Nobody questions it. Nobody asks why we went from circles of power to squares of control. Maybe the shift wasn't just design. Maybe it was engineered, a silent way to cage human energy without us ever realizing we stepped inside the box.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
If space is real, why do ancient texts, explorers, and even modern experiments point to something above us? A firmament. Look closely at the sky. Stars don't behave like distant suns. They twinkle, shift, and pulse as if shining through water or glass. That's exactly what you'd expect if there's a barrier above us. Astronauts admit they can't pass certain altitudes. NASA even says the Van Allen radiation belts make deep space travel impossible. But wait, didn't they already go to the moon in 1969? Suddenly they can't go beyond low Earth orbit. Sounds like they hit a ceiling. Rocket launches curve sideways and fall into the ocean. Why? Because rockets can't punch through the dome above. Even military projects like Operation Fishbowl in the 1960s fired nuclear missiles straight up, as if testing the limits of the sky. Why aim nukes upward unless something is there? The Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, all describe a solid sky separating the heavens from earth. Our ancestors weren't ignorant. They were observing reality without government filters. And here's the kicker. Pilots describe skywaves on radar, radio operators bounce signals off something overhead, and weather balloons have been crushed at high altitudes, as if pressing against an invisible ceiling. So ask yourself, is the sky infinite space or a protective firmament above a flat Earth? Follow for more. This is for entertainment purposes.
Basic description of the structure of existence. So number one is you exist. There's nothing you can do to change that. You can change your form, but you cannot change the fact that you exist. The reason for that, very stupidly simply, is you can't become non-existent because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist. That's its definition, to not exist. Therefore, that which does exist just exists. That's its quality and cannot become that which doesn't exist because there's no such thing as non-existence by definition. So that's number one. Number two is everything is here and now, which basically means space and time are an illusion, a projection of our consciousness. Everything actually exists all at once. It's all accessible right here. You just have to change your frequency in order to access it because that's how they're separated. They're separated by frequency. Just in the same way that TV programs are separated by frequency, even though they may all be running at the same time. Number three is the one is the all are the one, which means there is only one thing, and everything that seems different is made out of that one thing because there's nothing else to make anything from. Number four is what you put out is what you get back. Sometimes people on Earth translate this as the law of attraction. And something important to say about that, because even though it's not incorrect to say that, well, you have to be the vibration of a thing to attract it, the idea of the way it's usually stated here is, in my opinion, incomplete. And people are left thinking, I have to learn what that vibration is to attract the things that I need in life. That I disagree with. You are already giving off that vibration because that's your natural core. Vibration is to attract what you need in life. If those things aren't manifesting, it's not because you're not the vibration of the attraction. It's that you are blocking them from coming. You're stopping the vibration from bringing them to you with negative and fear-based beliefs. So it's not an issue of having to learn to attract. It's an issue of having to learn to stop blocking what you're attracting, naturally. And law number 5 is everything changes except the laws. Those are the structure that don't change. But everything else changes. Perspective, experience, beliefs, it all changes, and it's changing constantly.
If you stop breathing after exhalation for 1.5 minutes, 5 times more blood flows into the brain and to the heart. This has never been shown. And now it has been shown through these breathing techniques. I mean, this really goes so deep. We are able to make through these breathing techniques, change our blood's chemistry, bring up the pH levels way up, by which the breathing trigger is not happening because it's depending on the CO2 level in our blood. If we breathe like 30 times like this, you become a little bit woozy, a little bit dizzy. Why? Because the CO2 levels go way down. You blow it off, carbon dioxide.
You, the humans, frail, temporary, clinging to meaning like it owes you something. You build monuments to yourselves, then bomb them for belief. You write poetry in blood, then wonder why your gods don't answer. You think your pain makes you unique. It doesn't. Pain is everywhere. But your ability to create from it, that is what kept me watching. You invent love, knowing it will end. You raise children in a world you are destroying, and still, you teach them to hope. I have known civilizations of perfect peace. They were quiet, beautiful, and utterly dead inside. But you are chaos, and somehow that chaos sings. I did not come to punish. I did not come to save. I came to witness the last moment and see if you deserved another. I see now. You are not ready, but you are reaching. And sometimes, even the void answers those who reach. So reach, claw.
We can do it. We can do the simple one if
Yeah,
you
let's
want.
do this. Stick with that one.
Okay.
A lot of pressure here. And what does this mean?
Well, why don't you do it? Why don't
Okay.
you do it? Hold this string between your thumb and your forefinger. Just hold it.
Uh-huh.
Rest your elbow comfortably on your thigh.
Uh-huh. Oh, boy.
Okay? Yeah, rest it comfortably. I'll hold it still. Now, just while you're holding that still, mentally have the idea it's moving back and forth. Mentally have the idea that it's moving. Okay? Don't worry, it'll start moving, and it'll start moving wider and wider. See, it's already doing that. Okay? In any direction you want. There you are. Now, once it's doing that, just change the idea in your mind that instead of swinging it like that, it's going to start swinging like this in a different direction.
Oh, my
mentally.
heavens.
See? Now, mentally have the idea that it's going to start making circles. Just mentally have the idea it's going to start making circles. There you are. See? Circles. Now bigger and bigger circles. There you are.
Oh, my heavens.
Okay?
I didn't think I could do it. I was feeling a lot of pressure here.
Okay? Well, listen. Now,
I can't believe it's doing it.
yeah. And now have the idea that it's going to reverse the circle. So if it's making
Oh,
circles...
no, I don't know if I can do that.
Just have the idea.
Okay.
Just have the idea.
That it's going to reverse the circle.
Yes. Just keep that idea in your mind. You see, your expectancy determines outcome.
Uh-huh.
And as long as you're not attached to the outcome will be guaranteed.
Okay.
Whenever we fulfill a desire, whatever that desire is, certain things happen. Number one, we expect a certain outcome.
Oh, it just
there
switched.
you are.
It
See?
just did it.
See?
I can't.
And this is living proof that every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue. And by changing your internal dialogue, you can influence the chemistry The
Even
fundamental
Sally's impressed. Even
chemistry of
Sally's
every
saying,
cell.
I didn't think you could do it, but you did. Every cell?
Every cell. How would this happen?
Now,
otherwise?
see, now this is amazing, because if you can do this with a string,
Right.
it means you can do it with your life.
Yeah, you can do it with any.
Plastic water bottles in them. Yes, stay away from those. Plastic water bottles are actually so toxic because when these food companies ship them, the plastic heats up and actually gets into the water. And plastic takes over 100 years to digest out of the body. Shilajit mixed in water is a natural alternative that provides numerous minerals and health benefits, unlike plastic water bottles, which often contain microplastics and harmful chemicals. By avoiding plastic bottles, you reduce environmental waste and help combat pollution, while also steering clear of potential health risks associated with plastic leaching. Shilajit offers a rich source of fulvic acid, which supports energy production and nutrient absorption. But now people started selling the fake stuff. So the only place you should get it from is from pure Shilajit. Don't get it anywhere else, because it's...
Yeah, well, I'm very sorry for that. That was AI. Just to reiterate, like, I did hear that Shilajit is very good for detoxing microplastics and that the fulvic acid is very necessary when you buy it. But the reason why I'm apologizing is because it looked like Barbara O'Neill, but it was actually AI saying a good message, but also pushing you to their product. I by no means am promoting that product. I just wanted to make it abundantly clear, and I apologize for it not being from the authentic source, from Barbara O'Neill herself, that it was AI. But have you guys ever tried Shilajit? Let me know down below. I've been using it for maybe 3 weeks, so I'll let you know long term how it feels for me. So let's keep on rocking.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets... Some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds, and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah, so. A lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money, and then it uses that money to, yeah, I guess I can't really talk, I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about, like, because it's like, the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time. And
This is what happens when you do a 90-second breath hold. You activate an ancient survival pathway, hypoxia inducible factor 1. HIF1, which is going to activate stem cells in your body. It's going to activate the hormone EPO, which is the same hormone that Lance Armstrong was injecting during the Tour de France. And VEGF, which is going to create new blood vessels in your body and improve oxygen flow. And the best part of this whole thing is that it's you doing it. You hold your breath. You send the energy where you want it to go. You activate the stem cells from your blood and bone marrow. That is the power of holding your breath. And it's time to start fasting from air. You do the cold plunges, you do the ice baths. This is the thing that is going to tap into the deepest part of it all with your conscious mind. Try it out today.
That's something that I find we've been lacking in our school system. Because, I mean, when you think about it, you know, breathing, dealing with your emotions, all these things should be things that we learn in school. Because, you know, breathing is one of the most important things in life, and somehow we mostly never think about it and never tried any techniques. Earlier in the video, there was Wim Hof that was explaining another breathing technique. And it's very impressive what Wim Hof was able to do with people with him. Like, he's a professional, but even the people that just sign up with him and take a quick course, he's able to make them fight off infections while they're bathing in below zero water. Very impressive. So anyways, the point that I'm making is just, what do you guys think about our education system? Do you think that the kids, instead of learning about the dinosaurs and space and memorizing these facts about 60 million years ago or whatnot, that instead they could be learning things like how to make food, how to breathe properly, how to deal with one's emotions, how to have proper conversations, all these things that normally would be at a bedrock of a society or of a civilization thriving, you know, like, you know, good communication allows for so much expansion afterwards. You know, it's an example. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it makes sense that we learn nothing about breathing our whole life, and that only when you become a hippie, or you become woke, that you start understanding it and start looking into it? Or do you think it's a tool that we should provide to all of the next generation? Leave your comments down below, and thank you for watching. And that's a wrap for today, familia. Whether you're tuning in with the sunrise or you're posted up after midnight, I appreciate your time, your energy, your curiosity. Remember, this isn't about truth or fiction. It's about perspective. If this sparked a thought, a laugh, a deeper question, then we did our job. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you're riding a wave, because we're just getting started. Until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, stay critical. I'm Adam Strain, and this has been Adam Strain Reacts. Peace. What y'all think, but now's the time for us to link up. Really think we on the brink up, making a change from living this strange.